You are listening to Unite Talk with Sean Nova.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Unite Talk podcast. UNIT, why? Because I gotta. And, so just don't mind the intro. I'm dumb. Anyway, so my first guest in the inaugural episode of the Unite Talk is a man of mystery, really, because it's the first time I'm actually talking to him. The first time I've actually, I'm lying. This is not the actual first time we talked. This is a kind of a redo of the last recording because someone's mic was a little bit messed up. But, it's a work in progress, and we have to work on that. But the inaugural episode is here, and this is what's most important because we're doing it now. And my first guest is the owner of the Rusty Circus, a man of mystery who hopefully we get to have a glimpse inside his psyche and to know what really makes this man tick and, all the other useless junk that we want to know about too. So, my first guest here is Psyanide. How are you?
I'm great, and by the way, my microphone, should be good now.
Yeah, you got a new mic. Exactly. So now you have the same mic as I have, which is a Blue Yeti. And, why did I pronounce it that way? Because I'm so used to WCW. But anyway, if you don't know, now you know. Whatever. So, we had some trouble with the microphone before. It was a little bit messed up. You kept on hearing some feedback and echoing and all that other stuff, which you might probably hear now because I have a loud ass voice. R.I.P. to the headphone users. So, I'm a clown. If this is your first time hearing me talk on a podcast, I'm so sorry. But to those that already know, you know. So, let's do this. And let's talk about the usual first question I ask people is, how did you start off in this community?
I started a year ago. Well, on 2K17. One of my friends just introduced me to it, and I've been addicted to it, and I decided to join the community, and now I'm in Unite.
Wow, very lengthy and detailed story on how you started.
Well, I don't really know what to say. Like, I just joined, and here I am.
From West Philadelphia, born and raised. No, actually, what is it that is like, oh, I gotta be a part of this? Was there a certain match, or a promo, a car? Well,
it's all the process that goes around, like, creating a match, recording stuff, and being on commentary, creating your own call and just putting it out there, and people are like, wow, that's really great work, or like, you should work on that. And it's just that whole learning process that is always happening, and people giving you feedback and you giving feedback to people. I just like and love.
Oh, okay. And for those that hear the little banging there, I don't know if it's registering on the mic just yet, or if you guys can hear it. Those people in the apartment above mine are just, they're building Noah's Ark, apparently, and they just want to I'm sorry. They just want to freaking, just bang as loud as they can on a Sunday. It's the day of rest. Come on, man. Like, you're building Noah's Ark. Listen to God, rest on Sunday while I'm recording this podcast. So, and I also have to watch my language too because, 3 minutes in and I'm already cursing. And I'm from New York, okay? I'm from Brooklyn.
Well, for once, it's not me that started it.
Yeah, right. So, and it's the people from upstairs. Blame them that are just banging away right now. So, that's pretty much it. Anyway, you started off, you like how the community is pretty much giving each other feedback and encouragement and stuff like that. You only been here for a year. I'm surprised you haven't really gone through any drama or anything like that because that's not necessarily, you only witnessed the good parts of the community so far, right? Because like,
I know this drama. I just don't acknowledge it. Because why would you acknowledge it? It's just going to create more of it.
So what's your secret? Because a lot of people just tend to be attracted to drama no matter what. Even drama that's not even involving them, they're like, what? Drama? I must see this. And then have the nerve to complain about the toxicity of the community, where you can just be like, you know what? Ignore it. But so what's your secret in ignoring it?
I mean, I laugh at it and I just like, let them keep going until they like, I don't know, get each other banned, or something like that, and just see what happens, and you don't get involved, you just look at it and just, well, that's funny, let's grab the popcorn and just see how it goes.
The thing, I hate to keep waving the New York flag, which we do have a flag, it's beautiful, but it's the thing where, as a New Yorker, it's two sides to the drama coin, right? Because like, if it doesn't involve me, I'm easily just, I could easily just dismiss it and move about and mind my own business and just be like, oh, okay, that happened, whatever. I don't need to go and talk about it and say, oh, well, that's not, blah, 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 this shouldn't happen because I'm the ruler of the world, you gotta listen to me. It's more of, okay, that happened, move along. Look at this funny video, I'm gonna retweet it. So, but then when it involves me, though, that's when the other side of the New Yorker hits, and it's like, oh, what'd you say, mother? Boop, 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 boop. And I'm just gonna go off and say something about it because I'm not a P word, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's a family show. I gotta watch my mouth. So, you know what I mean, alright? I'm not saying, I wasn't saying that I'm not a pterodactyl or something like that, okay? You know what the P word meant, alright? But anyway, so, and for those that don't know, you can spell pterodactyl with the letter P. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah, you learn something new every day. This episode is brought to you by Sesame Street, ladies and gentlemen. So, you're not from New York. You're from, what was it, Montreal, right?
No, Quebec City in Canada.
Well, I mean, Montreal's in Quebec. I was close. Like, you don't have to.
Well, it's a 2-hour drive, but yeah, it's close.
You don't have to. Well, actually, me, you know, just like.
Well, it's
my show, man. Like, you know, don't embarrass me on my show. You could have just said, yeah. You could have just took the bullet and like, okay, fine. You could have. If you had said, hey, if this was your show and you had said that I'm from Queens, and I'm like, okay, no problem. You know, I would just left it at that. But anyway, so yeah, tell me about your character here, because just for people that haven't seen the what do you call it? What is this? What is this silly thing?
The showcase?
The showcase, yes, that's what it is. Yeah, for the Golden Star Division, and people were casting your vote and everything like that a couple of months ago. For people that haven't seen it, introduce everyone to your character. What is Psyanide?
Well, I am the owner of the Rusty Circus. We are a group of misfits and creeps, I guess.
Outsiders, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big man that do big man things, but also can fly. I am myself an acrobat, so yeah, that's pretty much it.
Now, please explain to me the process of flying. Do you think happy thoughts?
No, I just fly.
You just like, so is it just levitation, or do you have to jump really high in order to fly? Or
yeah, with my height, I just jump and then I'm like, oh, I'm flying.
In those words, huh?
Well, I mean, when you're 7 feet tall, you get to fly like pretty easily.
So, what is the main inspiration of your character here? Is there anybody like you've seen on TV, like like the movie that just came out, The Greatest Showman, about P.T. Barnum and all that stuff?
Well, yeah, a little bit of that, but my character came back with being that Canadian love machine, kind of like William Parker, his gimmick, being a movie star. Yeah. And basically, I put that to Ram when he saw it. He's like, "Hey, you look like Kizami, and you should go to like a ringleader type of character." And that's how Psyanide was born. He was like, "You look at The Greatest Showman, stuff like that." And yeah.
I would pay money to hear Ram say Kazarni. Like, just a Kazarni, baby. You ever heard of Kazarni? Kisisao. And all that other stuff that he talks about. So, I have a weird mind. It's just, it's stuff that Ram says I get a kick out of. There was this one time I had written a promo for FAM, God Rest His Soul, where, I had to write a script, and I made sure Ram had to say these words, and they were really weird words, but the fact that it's coming out of Ram's mouth, it sounds great, like Bugatti Veyron or Maserati and stuff like that. And it just hearing him say those words is just a kick. I get a kick out of it.
Well, let's just face it, Ram's voice is amazing.
Of course, baby. Yeah, so it's really good. Yeah, so about the whole thing with the wrestling gimmicks and everything like that is you're a big fan of wrestling, right? I hope so, because you're in this community.
Well, I'm on and off guy. When I was younger, 2 years old. I'm a little boy. I'm 20 years old, by the way.
Wow.
Well, yeah, when I was a little boy, I was watching the wrestling on Dad's lap, and I just loved it. And I've been keeping watching on and off. And probably when I got into car, I started watching it more and more religiously. Okay.
So what exactly made you become a wrestling fan? Like, what was it that you saw and it was like, holy crap, I got to be a part of this? Same thing like with the community.
Well, men beating each other, it's always fun to watch it. Well, I mean, you look at two men in like tight short and they're just beating the crap out of each other. It's amazing.
I mean, seriously though, like it's speaking from a straight man, I can't help but be fascinated by it. Like, just who wears short shorts? Randy Orton wears short shorts.
Well, talking about Randy Orton, what amazed me was the RKO he did to Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I can't remember the
31, I think. Yes.
Yeah, like the whole story behind that RKO was pretty amazing because they practiced it and they were never able to nail it, and they just nailed it live.
That's one heck of a risk, right? Like, oh yeah, here's this move I want to do, but we'd never really actually succeeded pulling it off. So let's try it again, and in the biggest show in the world with millions of people watching. Just no pressure.
Well, wrestling is a whole lot of improvisation because I did some wrestling when I was younger.
That's New York out there,
and it's
the horns going off.
New York being New York. But, when you're just wrestling somebody else, it's basically like a dance. You do stuff, they do stuff, you have to react to that stuff. And some of the time when the guys are just hugging it out, they're just talking to each other.
Oh my God, can this
all right, I'm
car
gonna do this.
Oh, this is great. We're recording this live, ladies and gentlemen. We're not gonna edit anything or all that crap. Like, come on. This is raw and natural. And
it's ambiance.
The ambiance. But I'm not even like I find myself keep doing the French accent, even though you're French Canadian. I'm just like, it's weird. It's magnetic where I just have to do it, and I hope. I mean, you get
used to it with the people saying like, oh, baguette.
You stupid American. Of course.
I mean, with the time you just get used to it and just laugh at it.
Right.
And that's more directed towards the French people, because French Canadian are supposed to be that friendly French guy, I guess.
Yeah. Smoking a cigarette all the time. It's like you never see him without a cigarette. Oh man. But so about the wrestling thing. Is anybody in particular that you're really a fan of?
Kevin Owens, The Rock. I mean, Kevin Owens just because he's near from where I'm from, and yeah.
You freaking racist?
I'm not racist. I'm just encouraging local talent.
Yeah, okay.
Quote unquote local.
Yeah, so you also, a fan of Edge and like Bret Hart, Chris Jericho.
Well, yeah, Edge is a great wrestler, and yeah.
He's gonna list Christian, Lance Storm, like he's gonna list every single Canadian that you're a fan of. But you're a fan of The Rock, which of course is not Canadian, and he's a very talented person, of course.
Well,
what made you be a fan of these people? Like, was there anything in particular of that? Because I just want to get down into the roots of what makes you like certain things and makes you just overall enthusiastic about what you watch.
Well, for Kevin Owens, just like that great heel when he was Universal Champion, just like going to, I can't remember what the show called for the troops.
Tribute to the Troops?
Yeah, Tribute to the Troops just goes like, yeah, I know today's about the American Army, but it's really all about me. And just those great heel moments that made me a fan of Kevin Owens, and just The Rock being like that massive man, just, look at him.
Massive man in his short shorts.
Well, even being a straight man, you just look at The Rock and you're like, damn, I want to be him.
I like Kevin Owens. I love The Rock also, where they're very quick-witted, especially when it comes like to off the script stuff, like in the middle of the match and they're trash talking each other. Especially with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, the way he has a quick comeback is just beautiful. Same thing with me, because and I'm pretty sure he went through the same thing too, where because when I was younger, I was a chunky kid, I was a husky kid. And, of course, there was always a kid in school that always wanted to make fun of me. Like, oh, but you can't tie your shoes, yuck, yuck. And all that other stuff that's really not that funny. So, as a kid from Brooklyn and a fat kid from Brooklyn, you really have to come up with a good strategy in order to play the dozens. And
yeah.
Playing the dozens meaning, like, you just roast each other over and over again until someone breaks. So, I had to have a good comeback all the time, and I always got into fights and everything like that. So when it comes down to Kevin Owens and his comebacks and his just snarks and insults and everything like that. It's just, I resonate with that. I'm like, ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's good. And the same thing with The Rock, too, in his promos. The
promos of The Rock are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's a better mic performer than The Rock.
But
right now, no.
Mm-hmm. And especially with the stuff that, because a lot of people nowadays, I don't think they can really relate to the people that say the same stuff over and over again. Like, you will have, like, your Enzo Amore, like, from last year, that would be like, bada boom, with this guy in the room, and all that SAWFT stuff over and over again, but that's pretty much a rarity, because not everybody else can do that. The Rock, especially now, especially from someone from the Attitude Era, where it was popular to say the same stuff over and over again, whether it's like, Austin 316 said I just whooped your ass, or if you smell what The Rock is cooking, or come aboard
doesn't
the
matter.
train, yeah, stuff like that. All those catchphrases, all those one-liners that were repetitive, is 2 words for you and all that other stuff. They don't really go over now, but then when The Rock came back and he was still doing that same old shtick, it still got the same response. That's a lot of talent, and that's a lot of respect that the fans have for The Rock, and then you can't help but admire that. And it's really, it's amazing, and then that's why he's still one of the greats in my book. Now, besides all the wrestling stuff, right, you are also into a lot of stuff like anime we already discussed before, the first time recording it.
Yeah, so, they never saw that.
No. And it's best. It's for the best, because your ears would have been bleeding with all the buzzing and all that stuff, and your horrible microphone that needed to get replaced. So, tell me about the stuff that you like, what anime or cartoons, because there's a vast difference. What you explained to me before.
Well, it's not a vast difference. It's just another, like, it's just there's Western cartoon and there's anime.
Yeah, but they're all animated.
Yes, I don't know why they're called that. It's just people being purists, I guess.
A movie from Japan and a movie from California, they're still called movies.
Yeah.
That's some level of pretentious BS that
I guess it's the drawing style. Everybody. Yeah.
The same thing with comic books and mangas,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of, nerds out there like, there's a vast difference, buddy! And I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but I'm not gonna acknowledge it.
We're gonna have those keyboard warriors just...
Like, listen here, I'll have you know, Mr. Nova. It's just like, manga comes from the old Japanese proverb in the Ming Dynasty. Like, I just don't really, no, thank you.
No.
So yeah, back to that. What's your favorite anime?
It's hard to say.
Well, you don't have to list one. If there's like a group that's your favorite and you don't want to put a specific one on top, you can always do that.
Well, I mean, I'm a big fan of shonens, which are basically like you got the hero that's just like, hey, I'm gonna beat you, gets beat up, and then comes back. I'm like, hey, I bet you. It's just and stuff like that. I like. It's childish, but it's still good.
Okay.
Stuff like My Hero Academia, Naruto.
Is it pronounced Naruto or is it Naruto? There's a lot of people that say different.
I couldn't tell you. When I pronounce it in French is different from when I'm pronouncing it in English.
It's actually Naruto. So, yeah. There you go.
Really?
The more you know. No, I have no idea. I was just... But, yeah, so, you like, My Hero Academia. I heard a lot of things about that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people telling me I should watch it, but then again, with anime, I don't know, it's weird. Like, I would have to watch it with somebody in order for me to get into it, just like with a lot of anime. The only anime I could really get into, and I'm a basic bitch, I mean, just get that all out of your system. You don't have to go and tell me that I am, because I already know I am. But I happen to be a big fan of the Dragon Ball franchise, whether it's Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. Which is
a great franchise.
It is, but...
for beginners, it's really a good thing to get into, because then you go into the quote-unquote hardcore stuff, and you're like, whoa, there's that they learned from Dragon Ball. Oh, there's that. Oh, yeah. I see that. I see something that's similar, and then you get into stuff, and you just like it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've also, it's not like I've only watched Dragon Ball. I'm like, yeah, I love anime, and that's not the case. I've also watched Blood Plus and Inuyasha and Death Note and Gundam Wing was a good thing I was really into when I was younger. Big O, stuff like that. Sailor Moon, I grew up on a little bit too. That's when I used to come on at 6 o'clock in the morning, right before I get ready for school and stuff like that. But
and when you miss 2 minutes, you're like, oh no!
Oh look, it's Tuxedo Mask who does the same thing every episode. Oh, isn't he great? It's whatever. But Tuxedo Mask. But yeah. So that if you were to pick and this is not the whole thing. Who's your favorite again? What really made you become a fan? Pick 2 characters from each anime, like one from one anime, one from another anime, and do J-Stars type of thing, and have them fight. And who would win and why? So, fantasy match. Who would you put?
That's a good question.
The clock is ticking, man. We gotta have this podcast be interesting. So
let's get the generic One Punch Man versus Goku.
Do you think it's gonna take one punch to take out Goku?
No, I'm really not sure that it's gonna take one punch, but sure as hell that Saitama will win, because he's just that over the top, too much powerful guy. Goku has Ultra Instinct, he's got Super Saiyan Blue, but doesn't compare to somebody that can just go from the moon to the Earth in 2 seconds.
No, but see, here's the thing, right? And it's all a question on which realm are we doing it in, because of course, I've seen One Punch Man. I love it. I don't know if there's a second season, but I know I've seen the first season.
No, there's not 2 seasons.
Okay, cool. So, now, here's the thing. Now, if we're going to go with the One Punch Man realm where it's all comedic and, 80% comedic. And, because there are some nice, serious moments that I really enjoy. But, 80% comedic, where Goku would freaking, Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan Kamehameha, 100% power and everything like that. And then it just, burns a little piece of his clothing. It's ooh, hot. And then it just pretty much no-sells it. And then One Punch knocks him out. Then, of course, he would win it. But then again, if we're in the Dragon Ball realm where Saitama is so overwhelmingly powerful with his punches, you kind of have to think Goku's going to think of something, of a maneuver that's out of his ass that he's never tried before, and automatically is perfect at it, just with freaking Ultra Instinct, or the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, or whatever crap that he's going to think of. And he's ultimately going to win, because I've never really seen Goku get dominated so quickly like a one-punch move.
Well, there's not Battle of the Gods, that last series that aired, I remember, feel really dumb to not know it, but there's this one dude that is in red spandex that looks like an alien with big black eyes, and he's
Jiren, yeah.
Yeah, Jiren. He's Goku, you can, just go away. And then it takes, 5 episodes for Goku to catch him up, because he's so powerful and overwhelming Goku. He's being beat up pretty bad.
Yeah, Jiren was starting to anger me. That I think the final parts of that tournament was really nerve-wracking to me, because I'm a huge Vegeta fan.
Oh,
and yeah, I'm a huge Vegeta.
Best boy Vegeta.
Yeah, I mean, and he has the best character development in the whole series out of every single character. Everybody else is pretty much the same from when they started. They're oh yeah, maybe he's just a little bit more powerful, and that's it. But Vegeta, his whole
the whole Saiyan pride with
his backstory and everything is all compelling, and I love it, and I want more of it. And so I'm a huge character of his, but then it always seems like he could only equal Goku, and that's only for a brief second, because then Goku again is going to come up with something out of his ass and I'm up now on number 1 again. I'm hungry, and it's just oh, come on, man.
And the biggest slap in the face is just Goku being well, you did great, Vegeta, and then he's trying his best, man. Don't just oh, you did great.
But see, here's the thing, right? Here's the kicker of it. It's a life lesson where no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you want to be the best, no matter how hard you try,
there's going to be somebody else on top.
Yes, there's always going to be somebody that's going to be better than you. And there's always going to be somebody that doesn't do that much work and will still be more luckier in life than you are.
Yeah.
And it's just it's heartbreaking, but it's the harsh truth. And it sucks. There's always no matter how good looking you are, no matter how much you work out, no matter how rich you are, there's always gonna be some dude walking in and he's like, hey, I'm here for my free punani every chance I get, and he's just gonna get it no matter what. So it's just,
and that's what I like about anime. It's just like little life lessons that you don't see happening, but they are there.
I don't know anything about other animes that teach that, but Dragon Ball really does teach that.
Well, they all have their little lessons. It's subtle sometimes, but when you watch close enough, you see them.
Right. But the whole thing that really bothered me about that tournament was that Vegeta got eliminated so quickly.
Oh.
And especially with the whole, when he made the promise of how he's going to bring this kid's universe back and everything like that. I'm like, okay, come on. I'm not delusional. I'm not going to think he's going to automatically win it. He's not going to be the first one on top, but he could at least been second place. I know Kojima, Akira Toriyama doesn't like him. I know he's just like, he just puts him there for the fans and that's it. And he's always going to be the silver medal winner. But I mean, give him that silver medal. Don't give him a bronze like he did in the freaking tournament.
Yeah, well, they wanted to show us somebody else more powerful, and they had to do it.
But I mean, Android 17 though. I mean, like, why was he the sole survivor? Why couldn't that be Vegeta? I dig Android 17, don't get me wrong, but it's just, like, I like him just fine, but above Vegeta...
I guess he's getting bullied by the creator, so why not keeping that way?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Just... I think Toriyama needs to just realize facts, Mm-hmm. He's Dragon Ball's Seth Rollins, like, the fans love him! Put him on top! Why you keep pushing Brock Lesnar? Come on, man. Like, what are you doing?
Or Braun, or, yeah.
Oh, God, don't get me started with Braun. Actually, get me started with Braun. Let's talk about Braun, because let's keep this podcast going here. Braun Strowman, he is a talent. I'm not gonna diminish that fact. I'm not gonna say that, he doesn't know how to do stuff, da-da-da. I understand he's a big guy, and he can do a lot of stuff that big men can't do, i.e. Big Show, for example.
Yeah.
But there are certain things, like, I don't see why people are gonna cheer him. And I can't say boo Roman Reigns because now people love Roman Reigns, but at that time, at the height of everything, Braun was doing pretty much the same thing that Roman was doing, but yet they were cheering for Braun for doing it, and when Roman does it, he got booed. And
it's since that WrestleMania that he beat Taker. Roman Reigns
it was way before that, man. Way before that.
From what I noticed, it was like that pinnacle of the heat he had.
Nah, that was like 2 years before that. People started turning on him. But the whole thing was that really bugged me about with Braun Strowman was that if he was in the Indies, right? If he if he was a big star in the Indies, he wouldn't have been a big star if it wasn't for all those special effects. The special effects is what really got him over, I think, in WWE. And if you eliminate that, then he's just another big guy that can do semi-stuff. And I don't think he'd be pushed to the moon. Like, the whole getting a grappling hook and tearing down the scaffolding backstage, or coming out of a garbage truck, or breaking stuff, lifting up little stages when they were having the little Kevin Owens show on there and everything, or putting Kevin Owens in a porta potty and pushing it over, like all those special effects things. You to remove that, he has nothing that's going to be like, oh my God, Braun Strowman's a man. As a matter of fact,
he's just another big man.
Before that even happened, people were booing him. They're like, oh yeah, there's rumors of Braun Strowman facing the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Everybody's like, no! Boo! But then the minute he started feuding with Roman Reigns, everybody's like, Braun Strowman's the greatest wrestler alive. And it's just like, oh, I see why you're cheering him now. And it's like, come on. You're mad transparent.
With the whole Crown Jewel thing, I was really pissed, I guess.
Crown Jewel is something that it's unfortunate, but for a business decision, you gotta understand, WWE is a publicly traded company. WWE has a F ton of employees that are under the payroll. They have lawyers. They have people that do the numbers, and I'm pretty sure the numbers said, hey, we can do this and still come out on top. Because the main what do you call it? The main objective of having a business is to make profit.
But,
and if doing the whole thing in Saudi Arabia wasn't going to get you profit, then they weren't going to freaking do it.
And there's like, well, I was talking about Braun, but like with the whole crown jewel thing, like people are just being mad because it kept happening. But the thing is, you cannot back out of a multi-million contract like that. I mean,
so what the Prince did to the reporter that was just reporting bad stuff about him. Like, oh yeah, so we're gonna back out of a couple of $100 million deal just because they don't want to do Saudi Arabia. What do you think that person's gonna do? I'm not saying that it might happen or anything like that, but it's a possibility that you really don't want to think about, And
even if it's not like in Saudi Arabia, it's just you cannot back out of a multi-million deal like that easily. You have to got a major reason to do that.
And it's not even that. Let's say, for example, they did the numbers and they can back out, right? They can do that. That means they have to have another venue to showcase the shows that they've already been building up. They can't just say, oh, well, never happened, and that's it. Now, you tell me, how can you book a venue of that size anywhere else within a week or two? You can't.
You can't.
And still sell tickets and still sell out the house? No, you can't do that. Like, again, you're still going to lose money. When you do that, so when you back out of that deal, you're going to lose a lot of money. The money that they paid you for the deal, and the money that you have to do everything at short notice, and also the lack of ticket sales. All it's going to do is just going to be like, okay, a couple of people on Twitter that have like 200 followers going to be like, oh, good on WWE to do that. I like them now for like that month. And that's it. Until something else that WWE does that they don't like, and they're going to continue to complain about that. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, it's no win-win scenario there. They just picked a route that they at least get something out of it. And that's it. Well,
yeah, and it's the basic principle of a business. You gotta make profit, otherwise you shut down.
When it comes down to Braun Strowman, is after what I just said, I don't believe he should have gotten treated the way he got treated at Crown Jewel.
Hear me out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hear me out on this. Mm-hmm. Braun Strowman is a wrestler. He's a strongman. I get that. Mm-hmm. He's a big dude. But then you
my phone just went off. Great.
but then you look at Brock Lesnar, which is a former UFC champion and a guy that knows how to fight. He's not just a wrestler. He's got the edge over Braun. Like, I know Braun's big and stuff like that. And you gotta see that Baron hit him with a title. He could have a concussion, so that makes sense.
The thing is, what bothers me is that, I'm you know what? I'm not even gonna say what bothers me. I'm gonna play devil's advocate on it, because now I'm gonna go and say why it's good that Braun lost. Now, I'm not a fan of how he lost, because he really had little.
It was a squash match.
Yeah, he only had like one kick as an offense, and that was it, and that kind of sucks. But the reason why I can understand why they did it is because they'll give it to Brock, not only because the fight he's going to have in January against Daniel Cormier, like, ooh, yeah, UFC champion versus WWE champion, money.
Yeah, it's a business move.
Right.
Let's face it.
But then also, he's not going to be around every Raw. Where some people think that's bad, that's also good too, because the fact that he won it in Saudi Arabia, which is a show they kind of want to forget about already. The fact that they gave it to him and he's not going to be around anymore, it's not going to be a constant reminder that, hey, Saudi Arabia happened. So I think they just want to just get it out of sight, and then eventually he'll lose it after January, which I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. He's not going to keep it for a year, and he's not going to lose it right away. He's going to keep it for a good 2 months, and then that's it.
Just to build, just to give a good face to come up and just be like, or I'm gonna dethrone you, you're a bad champion, stuff like, it's just like basic storytelling.
Yeah.
You get somebody full heel heat, and then like, alright, let's push somebody to the moon to defeat that guy, and just build up to that, and it's gonna be like that.
If Braun had won the title, then he would have been showing up on TV, and it could be a constant reminder that he won it in Saudi Arabia. And it's something that people are going to have to remember that show happened, regardless of, because we already know the fan backlash behind that. The same thing with the Hulk Hogan thing. The Hulk Hogan thing, when he came out as the host and everything, they really wanted to put him on TV, and the best way to put him on TV is in Saudi Arabia, where he was going to get a round of applause, because I don't think people in Saudi Arabia were aware of the whole scandal. And that's mainly a U.S. thing. And then if he showed up on U.S. TV for the first time, I think people would have booed him and had a negative response, and that would have been disastrous tenfold. So, when he's on TV, he got cheers, and everything was all peachy keen over there.
Mm-hmm.
So if it happened in like South Carolina or something like that, I'm pretty sure he would have gotten booed. Or any other state in the world. But anyway. So now let's go back to the whole cost side. Now that you're in Unite, what is your first order of business? Is there any dream matches you want to have?
I'm going after list? Desmond. It's set in stone. I'm going after him. I'm taking that championship.
You can try. I don't think you'd be successful. I've seen that guy work like from front row. Not even front row, from ringside. I've seen him wrestle. Good luck, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Desmond Cruz is a force to be reckoned with. I don't think anybody's gonna take that belt from him.
Oh, or I'm just gonna wait till like a Guardian beats him up, and here's a championship. Let me grab it.
Now let me be clear, right? When I say I don't see anybody beating him up, I'm removing myself from the equation because of course I can beat up Desmond Cruz. That. All right, let's not get it twisted here, right? I'm not saying that he's better than me.
I see your head getting bigger from Quebec. Watch out, dude.
It's my aura, right? My ego aura is just coming out. It's just, it's a beautiful shade of blue. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, no, I'm just like, no. If I was to face Desmond Cruz, I'd demolish him. Just one stunner, 1, 2, 3, that's it. But anybody else, like you or Jay Ciardolini or anybody else, like, no, sorry.
Well, I mean, you need a big guy to defeat another big guy. Let's face it, first.
Nobody bigger than me, you know what I'm saying?
Well, no, actually, there's nobody bigger than me. There was that dude in that cult thing, I can't remember the name of. He got, I think, eaten at the first episode. That dude was big, but he wasn't.
We will call him Lunch.
Yeah, Lunch. But, I mean, are you ready to face a guy that's 350 pounds, 7 feet tall, that can do a flip onto you?
Who's that?
Me.
Oh, excuse me. Dude, you don't want me. You don't want to embarrass yourself. You're new here.
Maybe not you, but like, is Desmond ready for that? I don't think so.
Well, let's ask him because he's here right now. No, I'm messing with you. He's not here. But I'm pretty sure he's listening to this right now, and then eventually he'll have a response if he cares to respond to you at all. So we'll see how far you are.
Well, I mean, he responded to Todd being like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you. I'll take that championship and stop everybody." Like, who's that guy?
Todd is he's a person that he claims to see the future, but yet he has failed to give me the lotto numbers. So I'm just like,
I'm calling fraud.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then again, he seems to know a lot about Desmond Cruz, and maybe that'll be a factor into what's going to happen in the upcoming episode of Rivals. So
he better not lose that title. I got to beat him. Like, that's I really got to beat him.
If he does beat him, you have to go back to the drawing board. But then again, when it comes to Desmond Cruz, I highly doubt anybody besides Sean Nova could beat him. So.
Or BH or the other Guardians.
Now, before we end this podcast, is there anybody else or anything else you want to do? Maybe you want to be in a tag team, or maybe you want to, I don't know, ask a Diamond Star Division, a Shooting Star with Solar Star, whatever the females are. Maybe ask them to the homecoming dance or whatever the crap.
Well, I mean, in the Rusty Circus, we don't have a female talent, so I mean, every female out there that has unique talent, you can contact me. Yeah.
Any female clowns or lion tamers or?
Well, not precisely a clown because we already have a clown, but I mean, it's
a circus though, huh? Is there really a limit on clowns?
Well, let's face it, with Valak, it's enough.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, the thing that this community needs is more clowns. Like, we don't have enough clowns in this community. We need, like, as many clowns as we can get. I count maybe 47 clowns in this community so far. I think we could do with another 47.
But the thing is, I don't want another clown in my circus, because Valak is being really costly sometimes. Burning down tents, beating people up.
Krusty the Clown?
No, he's just, Costy.
Costy. Oh, okay.
He cost a lot sometimes, just beating people up, hospital bills, and yeah.
Costy. Gotcha.
I mean, he burned down the tent sometimes, so yeah.
Sounds like
I don't want another.
He's a problem there, man. He's becoming.
He's not a problem because he brings people, but yeah. I couldn't afford another Valak though.
Well, maybe there's, again, like I said, like a lion tamer or a juggler, or
yeah, like we have an acrobat, we have me,
yeah.
we have
maybe you could put a female inside a cannon and shoot her out.
Yeah, I mean, we have a guy that plays with dice, and
what does that have to do with the circus?
Gambler. I mean, we're misfits, so why not?
Like, ooh, he threw another 7, everybody. Like, what the heck? I'm not trying to bury him. I'm just trying to understand. Hey, listen, Dice Man, if you got a problem, step up to me in either Rivals or in Unite, because, like, we'll just hash it out. You know, you got a problem? I'm from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I could throw dice, too. What's up? Snake eyes, homie.
Throw a D20. I got a 20. What you gonna do?
We're gonna have a crafts match. That's what we're gonna do. Great. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say? Anything? Tell everybody your Twitter account, your YouTube, so on and so forth. Let's put you out there.
Well, YouTube. I don't have it on hand, but for my Twitter handle, it's at Psyanidehf. PSYANIDEHF.
Hey, another P word, just like pterodactyl. Just gonna bring it down full circle here in the inaugural episode of the Unite Talk podcast. UNIT. Why? Because I gotta. I'm gonna stick with that slogan. You're gonna hear it every single episode until I forget. So, this is Sean Nova. This is Psyanide with a P. And thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Like what you see? Head over to our GawkBox page where you can support this show, join weekly giveaways, and even purchase a Unite membership by donating to us for oh wow, this never gets old, for free!